Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Soren Review. And today we're going to be recapping probably the craziest end to a race we've had in a while, and arguably one of the craziest endings we've had this season, and for the points battle for the championship for and who advances. What a crazy end. We'll get to what happened. The race itself was your average next gen Martinsville race, definitely better than the spring, but the end was just insane. And Ross Chastain continues to defy NASCAR rules. First, it was the Indy Road course where he made that gutsy call to use the access road and get out front. And today, he does a video game esque move around turns 3 and 4, similar to what Larson did at Darlington in 2021. And Chastain, who is 4 points behind Denny Hamlin, rides the wall rides the in turns 3 and 4, makes up a ton of positions to advance and join Joey Logano, Chase Elliott, and Christopher Bell, who wins his way into the next round. Just absolutely crazy. Here are your results. Let's get to the race itself. It was, a pretty eventful race. The third stage, again, similar to some of the last couple weeks, was really the eventful one. The first stage was went caution free. It was Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, and eventually Denny Hamlin who would win stage one. The really only notable things was William Byron, who went a lap down, and then Kyle Busch, who had an awful car today, went 3 laps down in the first stage alone. Chase Briscoe, who had qualified up front, running top 5 in stage 1, got an equipment interference penalty, and he had to drop to the back. So him and William Byron were forced to work their way up through the field. Throughout stage 2, I believe we had not a single caution as well. Kyle Busch had an awful race today. He's not listed on the results page, but he actually finished 5+ laps down, and I believe he finished uh, 30th. So awful run for Kyle Busch. Car looked really bad. At one point, he was the last place car. So uh, just heard the car was not what he needed, and real bad run. Gets you thinking about how much effort that team is putting into their cars. Same deal with Martin Truex Jr. Again, not a driver listed, but Truex had an awful run today. I don't think he was ever mentioned at any point on the broadcast. Finished 21st. I believe that's the best he ran all day. Real awful run for Truex. Tyler Reddick, mid stage two, went to the garage, had a headache, and went to the care center, passed a neurological test. So, no concussion from what we've heard, but been interesting on that. Denny Hamlin leads. Byron and Briscoe both go lap down. BJ McLeod has a rocker panel fire, a lot of buildup from the rubber on the racetrack. So BJ McLeod has a car fire, and that ends his day. And Denny Hamlin wins the second stage. Only 13 on the lead lap after the second stage as well. The third stage, though, is where it gets really exciting. Really early, we had our first wreck of the day. Brad Keselowski gets spun by Ross Chastain. Everyone keeps it, clean and get a caution. Denny Hamlin leads, and we have a small green flag run until Austin Dillon has a brake failure and slams into the wall in turn 3, ends a top 20 points day. Christopher Bell, though, this is where it gets really exciting. Christopher Bell and some others get off pit road in front of Denny Hamlin. For the first time Hamlin had not been leading. Hamlin falls to 5th, and Christopher Bell is able to get out front. And this makes the points very interesting because Bell needs to win his way into the next round. Some cars tried to save fuel, but it was about with 110 to go. A caution, though, ended up coming out after J.J. Yaley was spun out by Corey LaJoy. Pit stop, Christopher Bell keeps the lead, and the points are only separated by two for Hamlin and Chastain. Um, Christopher Bell keeps the lead though Ryan Blaney, who also needed to win his way, gets very close with about 55 to go, but a caution comes out with 34 to go. Landon Castle gets into the wall, similar to Austin Dillon's incident. And this is where everything gets very, very exciting. Kyle Larson, Brad Keselowski come off pit road with only two tires. Byron decides to only take fuel. But the important thing, Chase Briscoe and Cole Custer stay out on the racetrack. And oh man, what a crazy last 20 some laps it was. Chase Briscoe restarts and tries to pull away and gets to about a second lead. A lot of bumping further back. Bell, Larson, Keselowski for the positions. Christopher Bell and Brad Keselowski are able to separate themselves and move their way up and catch Chase Briscoe. Christopher Bell moves to second and then passes Chase Briscoe. And now Christopher Bell has to hold on to the lead. And as for the points, very, very crazy. Hamlin would gain, and then Chastain would gain, and then Hamlin would gain two positions, and Chastain would gain back. But coming to the white flag, Christopher Bell has the lead and wins the race. And Denny Hamlin is +4 over Ross Chastain. It looks to be over until the move happens. Ross Chastain wall rides along turns 3 and 4, passes like 6 or 7 cars, and is able to get past Hamlin, and I believe advances by 2 or 4 points. An insane move by Ross Chastain. Similar, it's a video game move, very similar to what Kyle Larson did at Darlington. Just an amazing move. His time was an 18.8 second lap, the fastest lap at Martinsville for a NASCAR. Not the fastest track lap ever, but Ross Chastain blew the competition out of the water with that lap, and just an insane move. Drivers saw it. It was a crazy move. Denny Hamlin, of course, disappointed to lose a chance at fighting for the title, but said it was a good move. Most people have just said it was a crazy move. There's nothing more to say. It was just an insane move by Chastain to even try to attempt it, and it opens up a whole new can of worms to NASCAR officiating, because now this has set a whole new precedent to how drivers approach being below the cutoff line. So it's just crazy. Kyle Larson, after the race, was very critical of the move. Um, Despite him doing it at Darlington, said he was embarrassed about that move, which is a bit of an interesting comment. I mean, personally, I don't think Chastain should get disqualified for this attempt, but I do think, personally, NASCAR probably should set a rule in place that you can't wall ride like that, um, in future incidents, because that could be pretty dangerous, especially at tracks like, where the wall is not so smooth at Martinsville. You could catch the car, and could probably be very dangerous. So, probably not the best thing to be having drivers do that, but Ross Chastain, doesn't matter. He took advantage of the rule, the lack of rules in that situation, and advances to fight for a championship. So the championship for Ross Chastain, Chase Elliott, Christopher Bell, Joey Logano. It's gonna be insane. I think Chase Elliott, I think, is the favorite. I went to Phoenix in the spring. Elliott and Chastain were very fast. Logano had an okay car, and remember, Christopher Bell wrecked in that Phoenix spring race. But Toyota's definitely going to be putting all their support into Bell, same way Ford will be doing for Joey Logano. It's also going to be very interesting because, unlike previous years, I think the final four will not be in the first four positions. I think all the other drivers are going to play a very, very big part. The top 10, not too surprising from what I've said. Bell, Larson, Blaney. Uh, Tough break for Blaney. just not he was up front and had a chance to pass Bell, but just didn't have the car to ever get to the lead. Keselowski gets his second top five of the season and in a row. Ross Chastain finishes fifth in all of that. The rest of the top 10, not too surprising. Just an insane move. I will be talking about this for a very long time. I'm very excited for the championship next week at Phoenix. It's going to be a very, very fun one to watch. Also, what's going to happen in the Xfinity series with the Ty Gibbs and Brandon Jones situation. Oh boy, we got one more week to go. Just a crazy season overall. That's going to do it for this video, though. Remember, you can use code SOREN72 to get $5 off shipping on all orders $30 or more when you use the code at checkout at Circle B Diecast. Also, follow me on Twitter if you want, at ReviewSoren. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and goodbye.